We welcome you to Spartanburg, South Carolina. It is Southern Conference College basketball on ESPN, and today one of the great rivalries in this league, the Furman Paladins are in town to take on the Terriers of Wofford College. As we take a look at the updated standings in the Southern Conference, right now Furman in third place in the league at 5-2, Wofford in sixth place with a record of 3-4. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in. Brock Bowling, Dean Keener with you. And Dean, Wofford coming off a loss on the road at Western Carolina on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Furman red hot, having won 7 of his last 9 games.
Yeah, you've got to love everything about this Furman Paladin team. They're talented, they're experienced, and they're well coached, but they face a big road test this afternoon.
Well, speaking of Furman, its leading scorer is a good one. Number 3, Mike Bothwell.
You said that right. He's as talented as any guard in the Southern Conference. On a team full of talented and experienced players, I think he's as big a key as any. He leads them in scoring, in assists, but he shoots 55% from the floor. That suggests he's taking and making good shots.
Furman, the preseason favorite to win the SoCon this year. Wofford, the preseason 5th place pick to win the league. Furman in its road purple uniforms with a black trim, and Wofford in the home white.
And you get the feeling right from the tip there's a different environment inside Richardson Indoor Stadium. It is a true rivalry, separated from just 35 miles.
Opening tap, and here we go. By the way, the officials today, Anthony Jordan, Orlando's Poole, and Billy Dunlap, as Furman has the opening possession of the game. Red hot coming into the game, winning 7 of its last 9, and a whistle and traveling called on Furman to open up the game.
That was a set play right from the tip. They wanted Marcus Foster to go one-on-one. The double team never came, but he took an extra step.
The starting lineup for Wofford, going with Jackson Sibbles, Jackson Pawlowski, Corey Tripp, Messiah Jones, and B.J. Mack. This team is 11-9 on the year, 3-4 in the Southern Conference. B.J. Mack, leading scorer for the team, draws the double. Inside Jones, lays it in, and he scores the game's first 2.
A terrific pass by Mack. He's Wofford's leading scorer, but he also has great vision when he receives double teams in the post.
And the 5 for the Pelicans, Pegues, Bothwell, Foster, Heen, and Slauson. Out of bounds, and goes back over to Wofford again.
Watch B.J. Mack, a great pass. He sees a little bit of a double team come by Heen along the baseline, and it just opens it up for teammate Messiah Jones.
And this is a Wofford team, Dean. It is very young, 12 freshmen and sophomores, 10 newcomers on the team this year, only 3 veteran players from last year. Getting inside is Corey Tripp. He can't finish, and the rebound by Furman.
You make a great point. I mean, just 3 Terriers have been involved in this rivalry game.
Steal by Messiah Jones, another turnover on Furman as the Paladins continue to try and score for the first time in this game today. Outside is B.J. Mack. He has a good inside-outside game for this club. Pull-up jump shot, knocks it down, and B.J. Mack has all 4 Wofford points.
He is listed as their starting forward, center, big, however you want to call it, but he is multi-dimensional and can score at multiple levels.
And Furman, a veteran team, lots of players back from last year, including the dynamic duo of Mike Bothwell and Jalen Slauson. Foster, Slauson, outside Pegues, hits the back of the rim, offensive rebound Foster. Foster needs help and finds Bothwell way up front. Crowd getting into it early here at the Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium. Bothwell trying to pass inside, another turnover out of bounds. It goes back over to Wofford.
This Terrier defense has been stout right from the start. I mean, they are focused. Credit to Jackson Sibbles in particular. He's been really good on Marcus Foster. We'll talk more about him as the broadcast goes on. He is the X factor for the Paladins.
Here's Pawlowski, freshman point guard for the team. Pull-up jump shot, it's gone. And it's all Wofford here in the early going. 2 points for Pawlowski, 6-0 Terriers. And all of Wofford's points have come off turnovers here in the first 2.5 minutes of the game.
Just no rhythm right now for Furman.
Foster, that's off the mark. Rebound ripped away by Corey Tripp for the Terriers. Got to a good start here at home against the good Furman team. 6-0 Terriers here in the early going. Here's Messiah Jones working against Heen, draws the double. They're working around the perimeter into Tripp's hands. Shot clock at 8. Tripp all the way. Lays it in. Corey Tripp with 2. 8-0 Terriers here in the early going.
Boy, a couple of extra passes right there by Wofford. Their go-to guy right now is the open man.
Here's Heen backing in on Tripp, and he lost it. Another turnover on Furman. Here come the Terriers, clad in white, and a whistle. And they have an offensive foul against Wofford away from the play. The interim head coach for Wofford is Dwight Perry. He took over for this team after former coach Jay McCauley took a leave of absence on December the 5th, resigned from Wofford on December 30th, and for now, this is Coach Dwight Perry's team. In fact, he was a former assistant coach at Furman Dean back in the day for 5 years and worked for 2 years under current Furman coach Bob Ritchie.
He's done a nice job here under some tough circumstances, really got this team kind of refocused and playing some pretty good basketball during conference play.
Furman still looking for their first points of the game. That's off the mark. Rebound by Wofford, up 8 here with 4 minutes gone by in the first half.
Well, it's been a story of either turnovers or one and done for Furman. Again, just no flow inside.
Tyler Filowich inside off the bench, as well as Amari Tice as they swing it around from side to side. Here's Mack. Have it poked away out of bounds. It'll stay with Wofford when we come back. 15:46 to go in the first half.
Well, it is all Wofford here early on. Corey Tripp right down Main Street. They lead the leading scoring team in the SoCon 8-0.
Back here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, a quick start for Wofford, up 8-0, 15:46 to go in the first half. Brock Bowling, Dean Keener with you, and Dean, what's impressed you most about the Wofford start here today?
Well, their defense. I mean, they have been focused. They have forced Furman into 4 turnovers here in just over 4 minutes, so same amount of turnovers as field goal attempts.
And there's a look at B.J. Mack, senior forward for Wofford. He has 4 of Wofford's 8 points so far, and on his last bucket that he made, that was his 1,000th point in his collegiate career. He spent 1 year at South Florida, and now the last 3 years with the Wofford Terriers.
And when B.J. Mack is dialed in, and he is a capable scorer at multiple levels in this conference, you see it right there. He can go over his shoulder. He can shoot threes. Talented offensive performer.
Here's Furman still looking for its first points of the game. 4 turnovers, no field goals made here in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. Mike Bothwell, that's off the mark. Put back is in by Alex Williams off the bench for Furman, and Furman is on the board for the first time tonight.
A couple guys off the bench for Bob Ritchie during that timeout to try to get the music started.
Here's Pawlowski in traffic. Ball knocked away into Filowich's hands. Filowich leans inside, goes up and scores!
Filowich leads the Southern Conference in field goal percentage at 65.5, and you see why. Everything in close.
Williams, too strong in the 3. Rebound by Wofford. Wofford has made 5 baskets in the game. 4 of the baskets have come in the paint. Mack. Charge called on B.J. Mack, and they go back the other way.
Crowd won't like that, but Mack lowered that shoulder. Slauson was in legal guarding position right on the baseline, moving his feet. Boy, he took a big hit right there. This last possession, Filowich, great job, great hands, great footwork, and then watch the little nifty little move. One way and then comes back up and under, uses his right hand. He doesn't do that enough. Generally comes back over that right shoulder with the left hand.
All right, so Dean, Furman struggling from the floor, 1 for 7 overall here in the first few minutes of the game, where does Furman go to try and get some points?
Well, I think, certainly Bothwell and Slauson are as capable offensive players as anybody in the Southern Conference. But they can't just go create on their own. They've also got to have some help.
Mike Bothwell creating inside. He's fouled. And he'll head to the line and shoot 2. Fouls on Kyler Filowich of Wofford, and that's his first.
Filowich has been a nice addition to this Terrier program. Transfer from Southern Illinois. Provides a real inside presence for them. Not a guy, he understands his role and plays it very well.
So here's Mike Bothwell at the line, 84% free throw shooter, averaging 19 points a game. Makes the first one. Last year, Bothwell named the first team All-SoCon by the coaches, and Bob Ritchie said to us this week, Dean, as we were talking to him, Bothwell is not only scoring more than ever in his career, he's also creating more for his teammates more than ever as well.
Yeah, look, and you see a little pressure right here. Not something that Furman does an awful lot, but Bob Ritchie trying to get his guys going. Yeah, back to Bothwell. It's a great lesson for his teammates and for young players. You think, man, if I give it up, am I going to score as much? Well, he's proven that you certainly can do that.
Fouls on Garrett Heen for Furman. And that's his first. And some subs come into the game for Wofford. Right now it's Adam Silas, Jackson Civils, Messiah Jones, Carson McCorkle, a sharpshooter for this team, and Amari Tice. Wofford in front, 10-4. And a steal by Alex Williams, third turnover on Wofford. Williams got held from behind, and he's fouled to the floor.
Not a terrible foul by Messiah Jones right there.
Bob Ritchie is the head coach of Furman in his 6th season. You see the record, you see the 21 seasons. He's won 22 or more games in 4 of the last 5 years. Dean, that one year he did not win 20. It was the COVID year 2 seasons ago. His team went 16-9, and there were a lot of cancellations that year.
And a league full of really good coaches, and there have been a lot of good coaches over the years in this league. He's arguably as good as any.
Alex Williams from 3 as he dials it in from long distance, his second basket of the game. 5 points on the afternoon, and Furman is within 3.
And the big fella, 70% of his shots are behind the arc.
Carson McCorkle off the mark on that shot from 3, and a player down. Looks like Garrett Heen is down on the other side of the floor. It's 5 on 4 in favor of Wofford, and Garrett Heen is shaken up.
Not sure I saw what happened right there. I was watching the flight of the ball by McCorkle with that 3 in front of the Furman bench, but certainly you hope it's nothing more than maybe the wind knocked out of him, but Garrett Heen it's one tough hombre. For him to go down, certainly he got hit.
And the trainer Justin Games out there to try and take care of Garrett Heen. He's a junior, 6'9", from Concord, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte.
He's improved every year, both offensively and defensively. Watch it again.
Ooh, an elbow right to the face.
Well, you hate to see that. Great camera work, but you hope it's just nothing more than he can hop back up and get back in this game. It looked unintentional, but just a basketball play, but that was tough right there. And certainly Billy Dunlap and this officiating crew, they'll get it right.
Yeah, the crew is Anthony Jordan. He's the crew chief. Olandis Poole and Billy Dunlap, they are the officials here today in Spartanburg, South Carolina at the beautiful Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium.
Yeah, transformational arena for this program. Mike Young helped build this program to what it was. Director of Athletics Richard Johnson, coach now AD. I mean, they're just what they did with the help of Jerry Richardson, an incredible venue.
All right, so the crew chief, actually it was referee Olandis Poole. He came over and they're upgrading that situation to a flagrant 1 on Messiah Jones on the elbow to the face of Garrett Heen.
Well, and when you go by the definition of flagrant one, it's excessive. It's not an F2 to where it's a cause for any kind of, you're throwing him out of the game. And you see it right there, excessive and or unnecessary. It was not legitimately on the ball. Now look, those two are trying to gain position for rebounding, but clearly that was a left elbow, and that's the right call by this outstanding crew today.
So Jalen Slauson will go to the line. And Garrett Heen was supposed to shoot the free throws, but he's unable to, so Wofford chooses Jalen Slauson to go to the line and shoot the free throws for the flagrant one committed by Wofford, and Slauson makes 1 of 2.
Not easy shooting into that Wofford student section. They are out in full force here this afternoon. They recognize this rivalry and the importance of the game, particularly for their Terriers.
So after being down 8-0 to begin the game, Furman within 2, a chance to tie or take the lead on this trip. Bothwell working inside, stopped. Slauson in the lane, 6 to shoot. Slauson with 3, making Bothwell with 3, puts up a 3 and it goes in. Mike Bothwell, his first basket of the day. He has 5 points.
Corey Tripp had done an outstanding job, particularly when Bothwell was trying to back him into the post one-on-one. But when that switch occurred, Bothwell was able to step back and hit over the outstretched arms of Mack.
And a 9-0 run by Furman to take the lead by 1.
This is what Furman can do. They can score in bunches.
Tripp in the lane, blocking foul called on Alex Williams of Furman. That's his first, and Corey Tripp will head to the line and shoot 2.
Watch Bothwell right here. He recognizes the clock on that pick and roll. There's a switch. He recognizes the clock is down, steps back, creates a little space. He's got a knack to make tough shots both outside the arc and around the rim. It's why he's one of the SoCon's best.
Here's Corey Tripp at the line. 75% free throw shooter, knocks it down. He had a career-high 19 points on Wednesday in the loss on the road at Western Carolina. This kid went from limited playing time last year to a starter this year. As you see, Mike Bothwell, leading scorer for Furman. He'll take a break and have a seat.
Yeah, my guess is Bob Ritchie trying to get him a break around the under-12 media. You're exactly right about Tripp, though. Boy, his improvement has been profound.
J.P. Pegues nails a 3, shooting 34% from downtown this year, and Furman leads by 3.
Speaking of improved, J.P. Pegues kind of worked while he waited behind Alex Hunter.
Here's Chase Martin, number 5, new sub into the game for Wofford, into Mack's hands. Mack trying to create, draws the double. Pavletsky rims out on that 3, fight for the rebound, cleared by Pegues. One-on-one against Tripp down the lane. Tripp steals it away from him, out of bounds, and it'll stay with Furman underneath. Good transition D by Corey Tripp.
Yeah, he moved his feet. He understood what was going on. Watch this effort right here. Comes back, slaps the ball, no foul. He's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife for this Wofford team. I mean, he's improved his shot. He's bought into his role, and he also knows he's got to be kind of the premier defender and guard guys like Bothwell and other guys in this league.
Another 3 goes in by J.P. Pegues. Back-to-back 3s for Pegues, and Furman has his biggest lead of 6.
Well, you know now why Bob Ritchie chose not to call a timeout when the Paladins were down 8-0.
Pavletsky, the pump fake, steps inside. Off the mark with that 2. Rebound Furman. Furman on a 15-1 run here in the last couple of minutes.
And now it is simply one and done for the Terriers.
Williams, his 3 is good. His second of the game. He has 8 points in the afternoon. Timeout taken by Wofford. $11:40 to go here in the first half.
Well, in the blink of an eye, these Furman Paladins put points on you. They average 82 a game. They're on a huge run, up 9.
Back in Spartanburg, it's raining threes here today in Spartanburg game.
Yeah, and it's been a variety of guys since they got off to that slow start. Alex Williams with 2, point guard J.P. Pegues with 2, Mike Bothwell with a step back as the shot clock's going down. This is a team that's shooting 38% behind the arc in conference play, and they're showing now why they are experienced, they're battle-tested, and they simply don't get rattled.
As a team, Furman 5 of 11 on threes. You see the start for Furman. It was a slow start, 0 for 5 from the field. Since then, 6 of 8 from the floor. Currently on an 18-1 run after being down early.
Yeah, they understand the importance of this game, this rivalry, as you mentioned at the opening, to stay near the top of the leaderboard in Southern Conference standings with Samford undefeated at 8-0. Furman was the preseason pick by both the coaches and the media.
All right, so Wofford threw the first punch, Dean. Furman responded well with a punch of its own as Chase Martin hits a 3. Besides that, what does Wofford need to do to kind of chip away at this lead?
Well, you've got to make sure you get back against this Paladin offense. Boy, they'll push it at every opportunity, both makes and misses. So you got to get back and you got to locate your man and try to play half court.
Here's Slauson inside, outside Marcus Foster, who's back in. Leans inside, can't finish, foul called on Wofford. And it's on Chase Martin, and that's his first.
Chase Martin's a guy who allows them, he's a natural small forward, but they can play some small ball with him at the 4, if you will. He can guard on the perimeter, he can guard inside. But he got just enough of the arm there as Foster was going to put it up.
Foster, redshirt junior from Atlanta, Georgia. 86% free throw shooter. Cooley knocks it down. One more coming.
I said moments ago, I think he's the X factor on this team. Many times, Marcus Foster is the most valuable player. Look, and that's no disrespect. Jalen Slauson, Mike Bothwell, who just checked back in, are, they're in the talk of player of the year in this league. But Marcus Foster now, 4th year in the program, his numbers are up. He's just a talented wing player.
And Foster, 10 points, 7 rebounds in Wednesday's win at Chattanooga. And goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. Furman now 4 out of 6 at the free throw line. Wofford ball down 7 inside 11 minutes to go here in the first half.
And in some respects, Wofford's got to be able to keep pace and try to outscore Furman. I mean, you got to limit him. You can't allow him to put 82 on you here in your home arena. But Furman's going to score points. Nice drive by the freshman. Gets inside and then a nice little reverse pivot to get away and separation from Pegues. This kid right here has had an outstanding first season.
Yeah, 6'3", just a freshman. First free throw is good. Hails from Kimberly, Wisconsin. And Coach Dwight Perry said before the game, there's not a freshman point guard in the country that's been asked to do more for his team than Jackson Pavletsky has been asked to do this year at Wofford.
Well, think about this. I mean, his numbers are fantastic, right? 46 from the floor, 40 from the 3, 87 from the line, and he's playing major minutes. I mean, there's very few teams that are having to play a point guard 32, 35 minutes a game. Pavletsky has done it well. Dwight Perry has managed it well.
Foster, the pump fake, goes inside. Shot rejected by Amari Tice and taken by Wofford. 2-on-2 break. Tice inside, lays it in.
That's exactly what Amari Tice does. He gives them length at the defensive end.
Ben Vanderwall, shot rejected by Filovich of Wofford and taken by Pavletsky. Here's Tice, scored a basket a moment ago. Now Wofford with some momentum. They go inside to Filovich. Inside against Lawson, no. Rebound, reaped down by Pegues for Furman.
Filovich doesn't miss that very often.
Foster, again, creating, missing that shot. Rebound skied for by Chase Martin for Wofford. Here's Pavletsky, trying to create again. He's not bashful in terms of going inside, not afraid. Shot rejected by Vanderwall, but Pavletsky is fouled. He'll head to the line and shoot 2.
It was defense right there by Tight, and then it was offense. Watch the little Euro step. Tried to revert the potential charge with Boswell. Nice job by the freshman who spent a year at South Kent. Up in Kent, Connecticut. Nice job, Amari Tice.
And Paveletzky goes to the line again. 86% free throw shooter. Calmly knocks that one down. Wofford 4 of 5 of the line. Back to Paveletzky. Coach Dwight Perry said he's not playing like a typical freshman. He's averaging 13 points a game and says he's just now scratching the surface with his potential and how good he can be as a player here at Wofford.
I think Paveletzky has handled what was a difficult situation back in December with a coaching change. For a young kid, an 18, 19-year-old playing these minutes, he's handled it really, really well.
Bothwell trying to create, banks it in as he gets back in the scoring column. Bothwell now with 7 points.
If it's your first time seeing Furman, in particular Mike Bothwell, you're in for a treat for 40 minutes.
And that basket by Bothwell ends a 9-1 run by Wofford. Silas in the lane, goes left hand, can't convert. Rebound Bothwell for Furman. And the Paladins want to move all the way. Bothwell shoots and misses. Put back jam by Jalen Slauson.
Terry, your team just got caught ball watching. Everybody was watching Mike Bothwell go down the lane, and Slauson finished up the miss. Can't get into a track meet if you're Wofford with this Furman team, but you do have to try to get some easy baskets. Paveletzky's been as good as any trying to get in the paint.
Here's the follow jam by Jalen Slauson.
Well, everybody's watching the ball thinking it's going in, and then Slauson, who just is a high-flying athlete, great motor. He's the reigning defensive player of the year in the Southern Conference. Everybody talks about what he's done, what he does offensively. Think about this, though. Players get awards based on 95% at the offensive end, but 50% of the game is played at the defensive end.
Carson McCorkle, catch and shoot 3. Rebound, run down by Pegues for Furman. A Furman team that is number 1 in the SoCon in scoring at 81.7 points per game. And Pegues flies down the lane and scores another easy 2.
That's just too easy. That is simply too easy. We talked about it. You've got to get back in transition against this Paladin team.
Here's Silas. He goes up left hand and scores. Adam Silas with his first 2 points of the game.
Everybody talks about Paveletzky. We have, right? But I think Silas is as talented a freshman.
Slauson, triple team. Someone's open. They find Alex Williams. Williams all the way. Lays it in. He has 10 points off the bench, Dean, here in the first half.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive. He's a guy that comes in averaging 5 points a game. McCorkle got to following Vanderwall out there, didn't stay connected on his defensive principles.
Inside Mack, too hard with the pass by Silas, out of bounds. Turnover, Wofford, number 4.
Now this Furman team can put points on the board in a hurry. They know how to squeeze the trigger. Boy, you've got to get back and stop. If not, they'll finish.
Spartanburg, 7:26 to go, first half. Furman leads Wofford 29-22. Our Big Ten ACC Super Tuesday doubleheader starts in Champaign with Illinois hosting Ohio State at 7 Eastern. Then Armando Bacot leads North Carolina against Syracuse. Both games airing on ESPN and on the ESPN app. How about Armando Bacot breaking Tyler Hansbrough's North Carolina career rebounding record yesterday?
Yeah, and broke Billy Cunningham's record for double-doubles. When you're mentioned with those guys, you're in rare air. That's pretty impressive.
So there is Alex Williams. He is 4 for 5 from the field. He has 10 points. The rest of the Furman team is 6 out of 16.
Alex Williams has been really, really good here in the first half. Arguably the best half he's played this season for the Paladins.
Here's Bothwell, quick step on the baseline, quick blocking foul called on Carson McCorkle of Wofford. and that's his first. And Dean, this up and down pace, it favors Furman. It likes to score, especially in transition. So how does Wofford keep it a half-court game?
Well, they've got to be good on offense themselves. They've got to take good shots. And they hope to make shots so that they can get back and build their defense. Otherwise, they're going to lose a track meet most days against this Furman team.
Furman leads the SoCon 81.7 points per game, leads the SoCon in field goal percentage at 49.6. Shot for three, missed by Williams. Here comes Pavletsky for Wofford.
Partly what's helped this Furman team, too. They had 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes. They've not had a single one since.
Mack, wide open, hits a three. B.J. Mack dials from long distance, his first three of the game. He has 7 points.
He is a capable three-point shooter, taking more this year than ever before. Percentage down a little bit, but if you're Dwight Perry, you welcome him when he gets his feet set.
Slauson doubled, inside Anderson, outside Williams, open three, and offensive rebound by Furman, and a steal by Wofford. Turnover on Furman, number 5 in the game.
Never fails, right? Just talked about no turnovers for almost 10 minutes for the Paladins, and then Witt throws it away.
Pavletsky weaving through traffic into Tripp's hands. Now to Mack. He hit a three just a possession ago.
And if you're Wofford, you've got to try to find Mack inside and let him operate.
And a hand slap foul on Alex Williams for Furman, his second of the game.
Mack's a guy, we saw it early in this game. I mean, he'll make the nice pass, whether it's to the power side, his side, or opposite when he gets double teamed.
As Alex Williams takes a seat, has a breather with 10 points and a couple of threes made already in the first half. Wofford down 4, trying to chip away at the lead some more, coming up on 6 minutes to go in the half. Jones against Lawson. Can't convert. Out of bounds off of Civils for Wofford. Back over to Furman.
Josiah Jones says, my bad. He knows that he had his defender one-on-one.
It's a Furman team which beat South Carolina in the Power 5 by 19 earlier in the season, and Furman has won 7 of his last 9 coming into today.
It's a team that also beat Belmont earlier in the season, who's near the top of the Missouri Valley standings.
As a Slauson backpedals his way inside, and we get a reach-in foul. It's on Jackson Civils of Wofford. That's his first. Power 6 wins this season. Furman defeating South Carolina. We mentioned it by 19 on November 20th. How about Wofford going on the road, winning at Texas A&M by 5 on December the 20th.
A&M was undefeated in SEC play until going to Rupp Arena yesterday. Everybody talks about, well, is the Southern Conference as good as it has been in recent years? I think it's very balanced. Boy, there's 4 or 5 teams at the top of the standings who play with any mid-major league in the country.
Corey Tripp sneaks down the baseline. He lays it in. He has 5 points, and the Furman lead down to 2. Pegues' three goes in as he has his 3rd 3 of the game. He has 11 points.
Paladin now 6 of 12. He said they've really started to find their range in conference play behind the arc. 3rd in the league at 38%, 50% today. Boy, they're hard to guard when they're knocking down those shots.
Here's Mack over the left shoulder, drops it in. 9 points by B.J. Mack. And we mentioned J.P. Pegues hit a 3 a moment ago. Bob Ritchie said before the game that in his opinion, J.P. Pegues has been the most improved player in the SoCon from last year to this season. And Pegues passes over to Carter Witt. Misfires from 3. Rebound by Civils for Wofford.
I don't disagree, although I think Dwight Perry would argue that Corey Tripp is the most improved player in the Southern Conference. There's a number of guys that have stepped up.
Pavletsky from 3. And a timeout taken by Bob Ritchie and Furman. Oh, instead of foul, there's a foul called on Furman, not a timeout, a foul called on Furman. On Mike Bothwell, that's his first.
Watch it here again. Pavletsky finds himself in the deep corner, and just enough of a nudge. Look, That might be, in my opinion, that was after the shot. Boy, Bothwell, I don't know that he touched Paveletzky while he was in the air. I thought he was already down on the ground or headed that way. Nevertheless, a chance at a 4-point play and the lead again for the Terriers.
And he drops it in, 10 points for Paveletzky, and Furman back in the lead by 1, 33-32. It's been a back and forth game here today between Wofford and Furman. This is Wofford's first lead since it was 10-8 in the early going.
And they have awoken this Wofford crowd once again.
Foster in the paint. Needs help and finds Pegues. Pegues with a hot hand. 3 threes in the game. Step back jump shot. No. Rebound. Ari Tice has it for Wofford. Wofford trying to extend the lead some more. Up 1 as we approach 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Trip. Into Paveletzky's hands. He'll run the offense on the point. Paveletzky spinning inside. Shoots and scores. And he's fouled. A chance for a 3-point play. And a timeout on the court. A 13-3 run by Wofford to claim the lead by 3 as Jackson Paveletzky earning his keep, getting the basket and the foul for Wofford. Back in Spartanburg, 35-32, Wofford in the lead with 3:32 to go in the first half. Here is our Big Monday doubleheader on ESPN and on the app. Duke is in Blacksburg taking on Virginia Tech at 7 Eastern. Then we head to Waco, Texas for Keontae George and number 21 Baylor squaring off against Jalen Wilson and second-ranked Kansas. Big Monday tomorrow night on ESPN.
Nothing like Big Monday. You think Bill Self won't have those Kansas Jayhawks ready. When Jamie Dixon took TCU into Allen Fieldhouse yesterday.
And there's Garrett Heen. Took an elbow to the face early in the first half and could not shoot the free throws, so he came out of the game and still being tended to. We hope he's okay.
Yeah, after you saw that replay, he did catch an elbow by Messiah Jones. No intent, I don't think, but and you know what? I don't know how much it's affected Messiah Jones. He hasn't played a ton since that.
So Jackson Paveletzky completes the 3-point play. He has a 4-point play. He's scored Wofford's last 7 points.
Think of the freshmen that have impacted this game for Wofford. I mean, Paveletzky, what about Amari Tice, especially at the defensive end?
Pegues inside and rolls it in there. He couldn't decide whether to shoot or pass, and the last second puts it in for 2.
Yeah, did a little bit of a victory lap.
Wofford's lead is 2. Mack, open 3, and down it goes! A 3 by Mack, his second of the game, and it's Furman in the lead by 5.
2 extra passes right there, first by Paveletzky and then by Tice.
And can Furman now respond? Here's Bothwell creating, fouled. And he'll head to the line and shoot 2. Foul is on Chase Martin of Wofford, and that's his second.
Well, we just talked about it. This last possession, look, Paveletzky gets in the paint. He finds Tripp to Tice to Mack. That is good offense right there. Mack shooting just 31% behind the arc, but he is a much better shooter than that.
So here's Bothwell at the line, 6'3", redshirt senior from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. And that's point number 8 in the game for Bothwell. He had 22 points on Wednesday night in the win at Chattanooga. That was a game, Dean, in which Furman held Chattanooga into the 60s. Won on the road in the Mocs home court and held the one and only Jake Stevens to only 11 shots taken. And a score and a foul. Ben Vanderwall gets the offensive putback. He scores. He'll head to the line for a potential 3-point play.
We talk about the freshman for Wofford. What about the freshman for Furman? Ben Vanderwall right there. Rebound and finishes with contact. Look at the emotion. He's never been a part of this rivalry, but he understands what's at stake.
So here's Ben Vanderwall at the line, 6'7" freshman from Elmhurst, Illinois. And cannot complete the 3-point play, but he gets another offensive rebound. And a shot clock reset to 20. Pegues wide open. Not this time from three. Rebound ripped away by Amari Tice for Wofford. Wofford in the lead by 2. We're coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Mack had Pegues down there, and Tice just couldn't get it to him.
Trip, fadeaway 3. And rebound by Pegues for Furman. Numbers for Furman, 5 on 4. Wofford is down a man as Tice just now gets back on D. Bothwell into the lane. Draws the contact, the foul. He'll shoot 2.
Boy, and that's why Mike Bothwell has scored over 1,700 career points. You saw him earlier in the game, a step back 3 when the clock's going down, but he's got such a knack and the ability to put a little hesitation. He can go behind his back. He's got multiple moves to get in the paint. And if he doesn't finish, he finds his way to the free throw line where he's a terrific free throw shooter.
It's the rivalry that elevated women's basketball to the national stage in the 90s. Number 5 UConn takes on Tennessee in Knoxville Thursday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN and on the app. College Game Day starts our coverage from Thompson Bowling Arena at 7 Eastern. So Mike Bothwell hits the first free throw. He has 9 points in the game. Again, an 84% free throw shooter, knocks them both down.
It's a compliment to Bob Ritchie and his staff, too, that Jalen Slauson and Mike Bothwell, fifth-year guys, they've hung in there. In this day and age of the transfer portal, they have been through and through Paladins.
Here's Mack. He has a couple of threes in this game. Into Pawlowski. There he goes. Shoots and scores. 15 points for Jackson Pawlowski here in the first half.
There's a guy, double figures, just one of his last 4. Wouldn't know it here watching this afternoon.
Vanderwall, too strong on the 3. Offensive rebound piece. Pegues again for 3, and it goes in. His 4th 3 of the game.
And that was Amari Tice. He didn't put the box out on Foster, which led to the second chance opportunity.
And Furman back in the lead by 1. Coming up on 1 minute to go in the first half. Silas wide open. Rebound Vanderwall for Furman.
Silas just 3 of his last 20 from behind the arc.
Blocking foul called in transition on Jackson Pawlowski. That's his first.
But Geese, boy, watch this. Tice doesn't box out Foster, and that's where open threes happen at a high rate, is when there's a long rebound. Everybody gets caught ball watch, and Foster finds his teammate Pegues, who knocks it down, who's really feeling it here this afternoon. Pegues, an important player for Paladin's success. If they want to get over the hump and they want to advance to the NCAA tournament, and that really is the ultimate goal for everybody in the Southern Conference, but more than anything, this Furman team, who have been good for years and just haven't been able to advance. Stephen Kroon to Alex Hunter, and now it's J.P. Pegues at the point guard slot.
Bothwell makes the first free throw, averaging 19 points a game. He has 11 so far. Last year averaged 15 points a game, led Furman. First team all SoCon, according to the coaches voting last year. And nails them both. He has 12. Furman, 7 of 12 at the line. Paladins by 3. And Wofford comes up the floor with Mack, Silas, Jones, Tice, and Pawlowski.
Pawlowski off the ball. He's a natural point guard, but he can play off. Trying to create something for him. He's just had the hot hand.
Jones drives inside strong and draws the contact. He's fouled. He'll head of the line and shoot 2. Fouls on Jalen Slauson of Furman. His second of the game.
Nice move by Jones right there. Been a tough 16 months for this young man, and coming off of an Achilles injury. Just a number of different things going on in his life. He is resilient, he is tough, and he is kind of a connection to really arguably the greatest team in Wofford history, that 2018-2019 team that went 30-5 under Mike Young, Fletcher McGee, Cam Jackson, Storm Murphy. They beat Seton Hall in the NCAA tournament and could have very easily beaten Kentucky.
So Messiah Jones scores his first 2 of the game. 1-point game, high-scoring game, 44-43. Furman in the lead by 1. And there's an 0.8 of a second differential between the two clocks. The shot clock and the game clock virtually identical. So Furman, in a sense, can hold for the last shot if it wants to here in the first half.
We're going to assume there's going to be some kind of pick and roll at the top. There you see it. Now Bothwell will operate. I highly doubt he's going to give it up.
Big East, that's a deep 3. Look out. Too strong. Rebound, Pavlovsky, and that's it for the first half. Crowd wanted a foul called on Furman on the loose ball. The crowd does not get it, and halftime is here. What a game. 44-43. Furman in the lead at the break. Furman 13-1 this year when leading at halftime. Great game back and forth after the break. We will send it to Kevin Connors in the studio. It's Furman 44, Wofford 43 on ESPNU.